UAP. UAP. It's the Uncovering Anomalies podcast. I'm Topher, joined as always by I Have a Need to Know Adam.
Woo! World War III, baby.
Also joining us. World War III, baby. Also joining us is Nick from Bitcoin Live. Welcome, Nick.
Hey guys, good to be back.
Man,
it's been a while. It has been a while, yeah.
Yeah, a good while. I've been busy, as you know. We've been talking before we went live, of course. Lots of stuff happening. We actually launching a new show, also about UAPs and Bitcoin and crypto and all that good stuff. And apart from that, trying to write, but things are just happening too fast. So
it's hard to keep up. It is hard to keep up.
Nick, he hates free time.
Yeah, exactly. Nick, I hate free time. Yeah,
yeah, it's a scarce asset. Hard to come by.
I'm getting the older I get, the more I'm realizing that is like the second I have a minute of free time, I'm like, oh, I should really enjoy this. You don't really have that opportunity anymore.
Exactly. Yeah, but. And it's sort of the balancing act between consuming and producing, because there's also a lot of stuff that you want to consume, like the news events that are happening, and then you want to balance that or integrate that into what you produce, right, to stay relevant and up to date. So it's almost not doable.
Yeah, and also, I mean, psychologically, it feels so good to produce. I mean, we all like to consume, but or at least me, I do feel guilty at some point if I overconsume, if there's too much consumption going on. I'm like, and like you just, I mean, time is precious, right? We're here for a very limited time on this earth, and all of a sudden, you're gonna be in your 60s and 70s if you're not taking care of your time and trying to.
You know what it is? Consuming is nice while you do it, but it sucks afterwards, because then you think, I could have spent this time different. But producing sucks while you're doing it, but feels great when you're done.
Yes, and so that's so true. Yeah. You feel value actually, and then you can waste time. It actually feels good to waste time.
Like a reward.
Yeah, exactly.
But if you do it the other way around, like, if you first waste time and then start producing, that often doesn't work.
That's so right. Yeah.
Also true. Yeah.
It feels like a burden, right?
Yeah. That's like, when you're a child and then you do so much in a day and each day feels like a year. And then when you look back, the time is very compressed and it felt like, it didn't take any time. And then, the reverse is also true. When you get older, you waste a lot of time often. Not me, but many people waste a lot of time. And then it feels like it takes a very long time. And then when you look back, it's gone.
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, I mean, I remember, being at high school, like 15, 16 years old, and being like, oh, God, this thing that I want is a year away. That's so far away.
I know.
Now, and it's just like, I blink. Like, I still think of like 2016, 2017. I think that was like yesterday. That was 10 years ago.
It's not nuts, man. Yeah, the older you get, the quicker. Like, we're in March already. So, like, a blink of an eye, it's like a year goes by so quickly.
Yeah.
I forgot what I wanted to mention. I had to do with you, Topher. I completely forgot what it was. But all right, hopefully it'll get to me. But I mean, there's so much going on, guys. When we first started planning the show, we wanted to do a UFO UAP update, which we still are, because Trump announced the whole thing, right? And lots of shows happened, lots of interviews happened, so we can go through those. But in the past couple of days, the whole Iran thing, and I'm sure hopefully we don't have to tell our listeners, but it's crazy. It is just insane. It's unprecedented, I'd say.
But we have to give kudos to those who deserve them, and Sid actually got 2 predictions right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he got it right that there would be a war with Iran, but I think he probably wasn't the only one. I was hoping it wouldn't be necessary, or that we wouldn't go there, but it was probably more hope than.
It's kind of obvious. It's Trump. Yeah. We know who owns him. We know who owns Trump.
And he also got the assassination right.
Yeah.
Oh, he said Khomeini would get assassinated. Damn, that's a good one.
He did. Yes, he did.
That is a good one. I would have to say the Iran one's not that hard, but that Khomeini one's a good one.
You know, I just gotta say, you know, born too early to die in the Middle East, born too late to die in the Middle East, but hey, man, born just in time to die in the Middle East. Let's go. War in Iran. Jesus Christ, what the hell is the U.S. doing?
I know. I mean, I feel like we should just make the entire show about Iran, you know, instead of like, but
it's
you know,
hard not to.
Yeah, and the thing is, and it's hard because what do our audience want? I mean, you know, our audience are into UFOs, UAPs, and geopolitics. We always bring in geopolitics, but
well, it's a huge part of it. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I think. Okay, what if we go quickly? I don't think it's a lot actually UFO, UAP stuff, but it does seem boring though compared to what's going on.
That's the hard part about doing a weekly show. Adam and I will send each other links about stuff that's going on all week, and then we record on Sundays for listeners who are unaware. Saturday night or Friday night, everything seems to happen, and it was just like, well, what the hell? So we had all this stuff planned, and you know, of course, all of the big news happens, you know, Friday, Saturday. It's ridiculous.
It is.
Yeah, it is. But also, you know, I think I made this tweet about you know, these governments being a little bit like magicians or jugglers, because they're moving on all fronts, right? I mean, like you said, like it was not only what happened to you in Iran, but that sort of overshadows all the other things that also happened, right? Because on the issue of AI, there was a huge developments on AI.
Yes. Yeah.
Economy, huge developments in economy. UAP, huge developments in UAP. Epstein, huge developments in Epstein. So they're doing all these things at the same time, but right now they want you to focus over there.
True.
While they're also doing those other things at the same time.
Works every time. War works every time.
Every time.
Yeah. It's like exactly. There was a really funny meme with Trump. He's pointing over the temple and the Epstein temple on the island. He's pointing over it to a UFO. He's like, "What's that?" You know, and this is what they're doing with Iran too, in a way. He's like saying, you know, look here when we forget the Epstein files. Forget everything else. Forget all this corruption that's going on with the government, and just although Iran's looking pretty bad for them as well. I don't think it's turning out as what they thought. You know, someone lied to Trump. Is no way they thought this retaliation would happen. I don't think so. They thought they'll go in, they'll kill Khomeini, and you know the people would uprise and take the government, and nothing happened. They killed Khomeini. Now all of a sudden they have a new leader. The IRGC is still in control, and they're bombing the entire region. What did they do? What did they accomplish? Nothing.
Yeah, I think, you know, it will be interesting, right, how this develops and if it can be contained. I think, you know, the first strikes that they did like last year, I think they were like a preamble to this one, because I think they wanted to if Iran actually has breakout capabilities on, you know, the nuclear front, as Netanyahu has been claiming for 30 years, then you know, you would want to take out those facilities first before you do this, right? In case they do have breakout capabilities. But if they actually do have it, I mean, those compounds are deeply underground, right? And they had time to restore or, you know, regroup. So who knows, right? Who knows what will come? And I, you know, in Europe, France and Britain are sort of, you know, making moves to possibly supply Ukraine with nuclear weapons. So Russia is getting anxious about that, and then Russia is using incendiary bombs in Ukraine now. So, and then, you know, if I were Russia or China at this moment, you know, you could open a new front somewhere else, right?
Like Taiwan,
Sure.
Yeah, exactly. Perfect time to take Taiwan, actually.
Yeah.
Everyone's busy. But I mean, just going quickly back to like Iran. I mean, all these interviews I'm hearing with Iranians and on the ground there, they're saying that, you know, everything they're throwing now, these are old stuff. This is old stuff. It's been sitting for a while. They're just throwing it. They're getting rid of it, and they haven't even started yet. And a lot of the munitions, the interceptors, are being depleted. You know, Doha is getting hit. Israel's getting hit bad, man. I mean, yeah. Anyway, I think I got a lot off my chest. Maybe I'm ready for UAP. What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, there's aliens? Oh, shoot. No,
I know. I just seem so distant and stupid now talking about it, you know? But, I mean, the thing is, it's happening.
But I think I want to highlight one thing, or at least two things. Like, one thing I think you're right about, getting rid of those legacy weapon systems. I think, that has been happening for a while now. That they are hard to upkeep, they're expensive, and they got newer and better weapon systems ready right there.
Yeah.
So that makes sense to me. And then secondly, what you see with when you look back in history is that wars often coincide or conflicts coincide with sort of as a cover or smokescreen or excuse for money printing, right? They often happen at the bottom of an economic downturn, and then you got an excuse for governments worldwide to start printing money again in order to flush the system, right? Because there's a war, there's a conflict, you need to step in. So, and at the same time, you had this AI. Basically, AI is now on the hockey stick. We're all now definitely on the hockey stick with AI. So you see deflationary pressure and cracks appearing in the American economy and Western economies, taking away jobs, dropping prices, destabilizing debt. So the money printer needs to start soon in order to keep the house of cards stable. So the war is a gift in that sense, right?
Yeah. Did you hear what's happening with Anthropic and the Department of War, Department of Defense?
Yes, super interesting.
Yeah. I mean, which is, how dare they try to protect our privacy and the guy had an interview. He said we gave them 98% what they wanted. He said they wanted basically no limits. We can kill whoever we want. We can use it to do whatever we want, kind of thing.
Yeah, our government saw the Terminator movies and we're like, hey, can we copy that? Like, what are we doing?
I know. What are we doing? Like, just I'm sure they said screw the Constitution a long time ago.
Oh yeah,
and we can see it. But now Sam Altman is coming out and saying, "Oh no, they do protect our privacy and there are guardrails." And bullshit, man. I should probably cancel ChatGPT and go with Claude.
But what they're doing is, of course, when you look at the bigger conflict, is they are in competition with the BRICS and especially with China, and China is, of course, in some sense way ahead when it comes to AI, right? They have unlimited data that they can use. They have no red lines or guardrails. They have what they call gladiator venture capitalist, right? They are, now that's actually a term that they use.
That's
there.
Cool. I've never heard of that. That makes a lot of sense. I love it. Gladiator.
Because they are, it's really cutthroat and they can copy paste each other's works. They look at Silicon Valley and they laugh because they're so sluggish and slow.
No red lines.
There's no, because there you have you can defend your ID or you can't allow it to be copied by others. And in China, it's just the strongest survive. It's like it's a free market to the max, right? So
law of the jungle.
Law of the jungle, yeah. So so they are very flexible and adaptable, and and
they don't have privacy laws. They don't have a constitution like we do, right? So they can.
And finally, the government is in full support of what they do, right? So it's like they got all the government's resources at their disposal, which is, of course, that's what America is now trying. They're trying to copy and compete with China, and that's also what's happening with Anthropic and now with OpenAI.
Who would have thought that capitalism would have destroyed, the Constitution when this country was set up with those two in mind, right? The Constitution and capitalism. The founding fathers really believed in capitalism.
But basically, what it's capitalism on the way up, and then you got crony capitalism, and then it's communism on the way down.
Yeah.
But the problem is broken money, right? If the money wasn't broken, you could actually have working capitalism. But that's where it goes wrong.
Mm-hmm. True, and once you have a central bank, that's not capitalism anymore. That when that's central planning, and central planning is communism, socialism. Yeah. Now, I just want to start with this because you were talking about AI and people losing jobs, and I remember this clip, and obviously this is AI, but this was hilarious. Really yeah, I don't know if you've seen this, Nick, but you would definitely see the humor in it.
By 2030, almost 80% of people had lost their jobs. They had no money, no purpose, but they had a lot of time on their hands.
The less people actually did physical work, the more they wanted to appear as if they did.
What if we could use the energy of humans to power the machines that took away their jobs?
Energem solved our need for energy and your need for purpose.
Yikes.
By 20
Oh man,
It's nice.
yeah,
Yeah.
pretty brilliant.
Lot of truth in there.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, exactly. I agree. All right, but into the UAP stuff, and I just hate seeing his face right now with what's going on. But let's just try to ignore. Let's try to ignore what's going on.
Department of War.
Yeah.
Now,
I did try to highlight these, Topher, just make it easier for us because there's a lot of articles that came out about this subject. But this is in the Times.
Hegseth shares update on government release of UFO files under Trump's direction.
Yeah. There's pretty much one quote from the guy. Everything else we know.
Yeah, he said, "We've got our people working on it right now," he said Monday when asked by a reporter if he was prepared to potentially declassify such information. "I don't want to oversell how much time it will take, but we're digging in."
Yeah, it doesn't really sound like he's going to do anything, right?
No, it's going to be never. We don't have to get in a tiff like last week, but
I need to apologize for that to everyone. I did apologize to Topher, but I was in a mood and I was just so frustrated. And for some reason, I snapped when that happened. And it just,
all I said was, I don't trust the government to tell us the truth about these things. And yeah, it led to a thing.
Oh my God. Yeah. So I totally apologize for that, man.
No, you're fine, dude. It's fine. I think it makes for good radio.
Right.
When asked if he thinks aliens exist, Hegseth said, "We'll see. I get to do the review and find out along with you." Yeah. This is the Obama thing, a week ago when he was like, "Oh, there's no aliens underneath the Area 51." Fuck, just
would you call it? What's that thing again?
what a bunch of horseshit.
Yeah, but Obama was interesting.
Yeah, they apparently don't tell presidents. Yeah, come on, man.
Yeah, there must be a huge conspiracy. Yeah, we know there's a huge conspiracy, and you know it too.
Yeah.
But Obama really framed it like a lawyer. He's a lawyer, of course, with his background, but he kept it as open as possible so that he could you would always have this plausible deniability, but sort of the things that he said in combination with each other, even though he can deny each of them, which he did. It's interesting that he put it the way that he did.
Yeah. And then he had to come out and clarify, a day later. Oh, right. I'm just saying, I think that alien life exists out in the universe, but we haven't found it yet, or whatever the hell he said. But, I mean, it's the same thing. Hillary testified to Congress the other day, and she said, "Well, as far as I'm aware," or whatever however she put it, "I've never met Epstein." Like in lawyer speak, it's perfect. As far as I'm aware, that gives you a lot of leeway, right?
But to the people who don't know Dr. G has a really cool YouTube channel, and he's
you shared that. Yeah, I saw that. He's good.
Yeah. I've been following him for a very long time, and it learns you about human psychology, but also body language and indirect expressions. Something that you express without even knowing that you're expressing it through your body language. Yeah. And he did a reading of that presentation by Hillary. And it's the things that he pointed out in that video are very, very interesting. So from her body language, he's actually hired, by in court cases and for high criminals and stuff. He says, from her body language, she clearly does know Epstein.
Well, yeah, I mean, Epstein was visiting the White House when Bill was in charge. Ghislaine was at her daughter's wedding. I mean, these people were very closely tied.
Exactly, like really close, not just like acquaintances. Go ahead, Nick.
No. Yeah, but watch that video. It's because it's very interesting where she tells the truth and where she doesn't tell the truth. Because you sort of without knowing it, you want to amplify or amplify when you are telling the truth or when you know when you think you're right, and you want to sort of downplay or ignore or hide when you're lying, sort of. And then it's very interesting where she is clearly not telling the truth and where she is telling the truth. So
I'd like him to do Bill Clinton, because Clinton just released a video about Epstein, and that guy's a great liar, man.
He's the best. Yeah, he's the best.
He is the best, right?
All I know is he did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Remember that?
Yeah.
With his hand, with his thumb up in his hand. I did not.
He did some readings of Clinton. Yeah, Clinton is a very interesting fellow. But so far the only release that he did was a pre-recorded thing, and then then it's almost impossible to get a good reading from something like that.
I did not know that. So it's better if it's off the cuff live.
Yes.
Okay.
He also did Pam Bondi. That one is also really good.
Oh, he did the one that I'm sure that's fun. The one when she went to Congress. That one.
Very interesting.
The Dow.
The Dow. Yeah. The Dow. A 50 thou. And I think this is just a video version of what we read, but let's see. Hex said we can see his body language at least. He's answering the question that she asked.
Protect our assets. 3 days ago, President Trump directed you to begin the process of identifying and releasing the UFO and UAP files. I mean, did you ever think that you would be the Secretary of War in charge of potentially declassifying extraterrestrial life to the American people and the world?
Did not have that on my bingo card at all.
Are you prepared to do that now?
Of course. I mean, we've got our people working on it right now. I don't want to oversell how much time it will take. Right? We're digging in. We're going to be in full compliance with that executive order, eager to provide that for the president. So there'll be more coming on that as far as the process of what we'll do.
And what sort of time frame? Do you have any sense for how long this is going to take?
I don't have a time frame for you yet, but stand by.
The for office.
Wait, did you guys see him laughing when he first heard the question? He was cracking up, and then he got serious.
No, actually, I was laughing, so I missed it completely.
Well, this is actually. This is like the first time I actually see him move.
Oh, really? Yeah, you're right. He's usually not very animated. I think here, she starts asking, he cracks up.
3 days ago, President Trump directed you to begin the process of identifying and releasing the UFO and UAP files. Yeah. I mean, did you ever think?
See, then he got all serious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, it feels like the U.S. government, for whatever reason, is not going to take this seriously.
Right. Yeah. The thing is, this war is not going to help. As usual, when disclosure happens, something happens. In 2001, the disclosure movement, was a month before 9/11 happened, right? And that was the real serious one. They were all ready to go to Congress. They were all ready to testify, and then boom, and that's it. War on Terror happened. Everything got more declassified. So.
Yeah, I mean, and credit to the American people. Everyone is so sick of government bullshit nowadays. Everyone is just we're up in arms about the Epstein files and UAPs, and we're like, we're ready, and they can start this war in Iran and do all this stuff in the Middle East, but people are still going to be like, no, I don't. This isn't another 9/11. You can't distract us from what we want.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of that. Like someone's like, I don't care if World War III happens. I'm not forgetting the Epstein files.
Yeah, and that's the right, in my opinion, that's the right attitude to have.
It's mature for sure.
Yeah, I think people shouldn't give up on the UAP files, not on the Epstein files, and I still think those two are intimately connected.
They are.
And as well, basically everything that's happening right now is connected, right? I mean, the economy, AI, war.
Even Iran, because Iran, for them to implement like this new financial system and stable coin, they need the entire planet, I think. They can't have anyone not going along with the program. And they need Iran, to be in line with the empire. Well, at least with Israel hegemony in the Middle East.
Yeah, and I think they got Venezuela, so they are protected, energy wise, right, from oil shocks. So if there's there is an oil shock because they closed the Strait of Hormuz, but basically America is fine, right? They got an oil station across the pond now. So but for the BRICS, this is a real big deal, right? Because if they lost Venezuela, if they also lose Iran, they also lose Iraq. So that only leaves Russia, and Trump is doing everything to get Russia into its orbit. So and it becomes very, do you want to stick with the BRICS if you're on the losing team? I don't know.
That is a very important perspective, I think, that maybe people don't really look at, and this should be looked at from a BRICS point of view. You're right. Venezuela is part of BRICS, and it's a huge oil producer. Iran is part of BRICS, and it's a very strong foundation, I think, of BRICS. You take those two down, what's left? And
you saw leading up to the conflict, you saw China stacking up on oil for at least a couple of months supply, because I think they get like 80% from Iran, something along those lines. And America was stacking up on its rare earth minerals, which you also need for war, also for a couple of months. So we know from fact that they only can keep this conflict going for now, let's say, a couple of weeks, and then they either run out of oil or rare earth minerals, and then they have to get to the negotiating table. So this will be high intensity, and then as long as it doesn't escalate. But I think none of the parties really wanted to escalate it too far. But if they do have UAP technology,
right,
this might be a good arena to
a good excuse to bring that stuff out, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Well, okay, let's see. I think, does he continue here? Let's see.
Director of National Intelligence said today that her office was going to begin the process of declassifying reports on extraterrestrial and alien life. I'm going back to these types of questions because the American people have wanted to know the answer to these questions for a very long time. And so I'm just curious if you think that, one, if this is the beginning of disclosure for the American people and the world, and two, if the Pentagon is actually prepared to start declassifying some of these things that might really shed some answers on this instead of keeping it secret.
We'll work with the DNI as we always do. I'm heartened to hear that she's doing that. President Trump has been committed to disclosure on lots of levels, and he's made it clear that he wants answers on this. He's given us a responsibility to do it. We're going to be a part of delivering that. It'll be a deliberative process. We want to make sure expectations are going to be high, right? I don't want to overpromise and underdeliver, so we're going to take a little time to make sure we assess what this should look like and deliver for the president, for the American people. Thank you.
He laughed again, if you noticed.
I did, yeah. Just, man, you stupid goyim.
Right. Exactly, you goys.
Just unreal, man. Unreal.
Well, let's see what comes out of it. I'm not gonna say that they're gonna. I mean, I feel like it's gonna be like JFK. Like, all right, here's 3 million documents. Good luck finding anything, right? Kind of thing.
Dude, this is what I said last week.
I think I think what they're sort of trying to do is, I think they're because Trump is like a stage master, right? He's an entertainer in some ways. And I think they're really good at sort of setting the stage, building it up, and timing is everything, right? So, I think they're building up to a moment, and then they will release whatever they want to release in the way that they want to release it to the public. So I think they actually, my opinion is actually that they will release stuff that they will need to release in order to upgrade the U.S. empire into a space economy.
Yeah, and I mean, like you said, Trump is an entertainer, right? And he has this huge ego. Obviously, he's a narcissist, and I think I'm saying when, not if, when the public opinion turns on, the conflict in Iran, he's gonna be like, okay, I can't be that president. I've got to be a president that did something, right? The Iceland stuff, whatever, Canada stuff, fine, whatever. So he's got to make his mark. That's just what a narcissist does, right? And so he's going to be the UAP guy. He wants to be the UAP president.
But also I think he can't afford to lose the midterms, right? Because he will go to jail or worse, right?
He's already. I think he's already lost it. If he doesn't fix it, I mean, the GOP, the Republicans, they've already lost 26 and 2028. There's no way anyone's going to vote for Vance or Rubio after what they've done in Iran. There's no way.
Except the Democrats are in America. The Democrats are just as stupid, if not more. They're talking about running Kamala again, and then
what?
They're going to put. Yes, she's.
Dude. I'm going to go live in China.
or they're going to. What I think is going to happen is they're going to push Gavin Newsom as like the quote unquote normal president when he's just as much a psycho. Did you see in the news him saying, "Oh, I scored so low on my SATs I can barely read." God, he's talking to like people, a bunch of black people. So bad, dude. American politics.
I can't even read. He was saying I got a 960 on my SAT, and I can't read like a lot of you guys. Did he say that? Like a lot of you guys or something?
Yeah, man.
Oh my God, so embarrassing.
Yeah, just American politics. I mean, we've said it on the show. Republicans and Democrats are two wings of the same bird here.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's the whole system is designed so no third party can enter and all this stuff. I could go on a long-winded rant, but I won't. But just Jesus Christ, what a joke!
Yeah. Trump destroyed his legacy, right? And just to add to your point, Nick, is that he needs something. Especially after this is how is he going to come back from this? And maybe this is a way, and maybe just maybe we might get something from out of this disclosure. Maybe not aliens, right? Because that'll hurt his donors.
Sure,
but it might be technology, right? It
might
be like,
it's like I joked in the group chat. I think what they're going to release is all of these UAPs come from Iran, and that's why they're invading.
I mean, we don't really know what they're gonna release, but I think I still think that we're on the cusp. Let's say let's back up a little bit. All these wars that we have. So we'll back up a little bit further. COVID was basically peak globalization, right? Where all the countries were still working together and they were aligned, and if they had won. If the people around the world didn't push back, they would have won, and it would have been horrible. And then
completely horrible. Yeah, it would have been transhumanism.
Yeah, and then in my opinion, both the people pushed back, but also some countries woke up to the fact if we go down that route, then winner takes all. Then the US would be dominant and would win everything.
Right.
It's like playing Monopoly, and then one person is cheating, which is the US, because they have the reserve currency of the world. And then if you can't stop playing the game, it ends up with the US winning everything, right? So the China and the BRICS, they sort of said, okay, we're not gonna play that game anymore. We're gonna play our own game, and then so after COVID, the first thing that happened, because they all need inflation, like tons of inflation, was war, right? Because that's how you usually solve this issue. So that was like the first war. But all these wars are basically AI wars. And because, in Ukraine, so you got Taiwan, of course, which is a huge semiconductor producer. And then you got ASML in Holland, right, which high-end semiconductor microchips. But in Ukraine was super important for neon gas. It produced like 70% of all the neon gas to make microchips. And you also had the boycott of Russia from getting microchips, which sort of forced them into the war, or at least exacerbated the war. And the onshoring of microchips towards China was, started even before that, right? So you see, actually, you can look at all these wars and conflicts through the prism of AI, and when you zoom out even further, then the AI they aren't AI wars; they are space wars. What we can call these, looking back in the future, these weren't the first AI wars; they were actually space wars. So
the first, they are space wars already because they all use satellites. Actually, the first space war was the Iraq War in '91. That was the first space war. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, but I mean also with the target or the goal is towards space, right? Because you need AI in order to become a spacefaring economy, right? So AI will be crucial. So and then that's why the rare earths are also so important, right? And so from that perspective, I think plus the perspective from winner takes all, because with crypto, if you use CBDCs or stablecoins, but especially CBDCs, you can basically take out all opposition, right? So I think even though I agree with you that Republicans and Democrats are two wings of the same bird, I think that bird is gonna lose a wing. The question is which wing is gonna lose, and so it's all or nothing. It's cutthroat and winner takes all, and Trump can't afford to lose the midterms, so he has to do something big to turn it around. And I think, plus, with AI, as in Mexico, they just, the government just lost all their information to a hacker who got around.
I saw that. Yeah.
So basically,
so I mean, the midterms are in November, so he doesn't have that much time. I mean, what's happening in Iran and in the Middle East is a mess, and the repercussions are not gonna be a joke. It's already like he destroyed allies. Like you're talking, this decision what he's done is going to destroy Dubai. It already has, right? Dubai, Bahrain, Qatar, all these places and countries that were safe for investments and safe for Europeans and Americans to start up businesses and just, and tourism. It's just gone. And they're still getting hit. The Burj Khalifa, Burj Al Arab, Palm. You're talking about like these places where like, it was like a utopia. Like seriously, I'm not kidding. Like, and it was just always safe. You got cheap labor. You got people doing stuff for you. And I don't know how he's gonna get out of it in 6 months. I don't see it. Even unless he's like, look, here's the crafts from Roswell. Here are the aliens. It's gonna have to be something like that. Like
why not? Right? I mean, because just you guys also know Whitney Webb, right? Yeah. So. And she made, she does a lot of interviews, of course. I don't follow all of them, but she also does these short clips. And in one of those clips, she actually makes the same point as I do. It's like with Epstein, basically they don't need Epstein anymore, right? They now got Palantir. So you don't need to blackmail people. You don't need this whole operation anymore. You can do it just in real time. So you can sacrifice that entire thing because you don't need it anymore. And also transparency. I mean, you can't hide stuff anymore because look at Mexico. So why not use your weakness as a strength, right? Just since you can't hide it anyway, use it in your advantage and just throw it out into the open. Create more chaos.
Did you see that leak? Did you see that leak about Palantir that Peter Thiel and Alex Karp have a secret database of every single leader, every single investor of what they do, using their software. They have all this blackmail. Yeah. So you're right. Epstein and these type of networks are not needed anymore.
No.
I mean, if you have vices, if you have a vice and an addiction, any type of addiction, if you're addicted to porn or whatever, or something, or some type, that's it. They have it. It's in your file and can be pulled out at any time to use against you.
Yeah, but I also think we're moving to a world where all that stuff no longer matters, right? Because you got deep fakes. You can fake my voice, you can fake my face, you can fake basically everything, and plus it's almost impossible to hide anymore. So I think we're going to sort of what you see in science fiction movies. Like what's the Fifth Element, for example? You see people walking around half naked, crazy hairdos, crazy outfits. Because I think in the future people won't have privacy anymore, and they don't really care anymore what other people think about their vices. They will celebrate their vices, and I think they won't be blackmailable anymore.
So how would you control people then? In that, so if there's no fear of vices or no embarrassment or shame, how how can you control someone's, I don't know, someone becoming prominent or someone?
But we already know the answer, right? Yeah, because that's crypto in CBDCs, right? I think people don't realize the power of a CBDC. I sometimes talk to my younger brother about it, and he says, "Yeah, but Nicholas, we already have digital money, right? So what's the point? What's the difference?"
Programmable though, right?
It's not programmable, and it's sort of like having a backdoor in your wallet, right? So you can't take your money out of your wallet. Your wallet is your money, and your government can reach at any moment directly into your wallet, take out of it whatever it wants. It can say on who you spend it, with whom you spend it, when you spend it, how long you spend it, how much it's worth, what you spend it, in what area you can spend it, for how long you can spend it. And you can also link it up to your vitals. You can put it under your skin. You can link it to what you think, what you. So basically, money. It won't be money. It will be like points in the game.
We can't allow CBDCs to happen. We just cannot.
But it'll be social credit. I mean, you can't buy this. You can't go into this store. You can't drive your car. It'll all be part of the same. Yeah, it'll all be part of, your, like you said, your wallet. I mean, once everything's connected to one another. I mean,
it's the end of human freedom. It's the end of human freedom, and it's total. It's human enslavement. And could you imagine if they had this in COVID? They would have won.
Exactly.
That's the point, right? And it's no longer money, right? Because money, what money actually represents, if it's actually money, is freedom. Right?
Yeah. I'm sure like the crypto community and the libertarian community, they will come up with other solutions to go around this. There's no way that they won't, because there are still a huge fraction of humans that respect and understand human freedom, right, and dignity, that are not normies. The normies will go along with it. I mean, like you said, like, whatever. I won't do anything bad. It won't be against me, kind of thing.
But I go ahead. I go down that dark, evil path. I say, the government is working to identify and remove those people from society.
Kill
right?
them. Right.
Just want to take a quick break here and welcome Sid to the show.
Woo! All right.
Hey, Sid.
Hey, yeah, sorry, but yeah. I'm just here as a war correspondent.
We're all war profiteers now after this.
Yeah.
We're complete.
Are you deep in the trenches?
Oh yeah. Well, non-stop. To be honest, in last 48 hours, I just slept for 10 hours.
Dude, same thing. Jesus. Same thing. Yeah. I was up the entire night until 7 a.m, like Saturday morning. I slept at 7 and only for a few hours. And then,
same exactly. I went to bed at 7 and I think woke up at 10. Because I'm actually working with some of like big news channels, not news channels, like Twitter news coverage people, right? I don't.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I'm just like gathering some info and doing some things and keeping an eye as well for myself. So
yeah, I mean, at the beginning of the show, or even before it started, we were like, man, how can we talk about anything else but what's happening in Iran? Especially how quickly it's going. But
let's start with this Khamenei assassination thing. First of all, I think there was some traitor in IRGC who gave the information, because that was a very precise targeted strike.
Wasn't he in the home though, or is that
no? He was in the office in the meeting. Right after the meeting was ended and everyone left, he was struck. Also, nobody's talking about that, but Ahmadinejad is also assassinated.
Who was?
Ahmadinejad.
Oh yeah.
What? He was? I didn't know that. I did not see that.
Yes. Nobody's talking about that. Ahmadinejad got assassinated yesterday. And it was a precise strike as well. So I think Giorgiani's claim that Ahmadinejad was working for Mossad was wrong. Otherwise, they wouldn't.
I hate that guy.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure they won't assassinate their own guy.
Right, exactly. Johnny doesn't know what he's talking about, man. No, seriously. I mean, I guess when it comes to UFOs, half of the stuff he says is okay, but when it comes to politics, especially Iran, I think it's like 99% lies. The guy has no idea what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Like he starts like saying like, "Oh, Muslim this, Islam, and then Aryan nation, Israel, all that stuff."
Yeah.
And then he doesn't say like who allowed the Muslims into Iran, and it was the Jews who lived there. They're the ones who allowed them in. He talked, and the conquering happened from that, and he's probably one anyway. But yeah, that's
he is actually. But then the biggest part is like, which I was not expecting, that GCC countries will get hit that hard.
Dude, so bad.
Bahrain is destroyed, to be honest.
So bad. Yeah.
And then UAE. I'm actually very surprised about UAE.
Dubai, man. Dubai. I can't believe what they've done to Dubai.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Oh, by the way, they are not targeting like random locations. They are targeting a specific safe house of American soldiers or Israeli people.
Right.
Because they have safe houses, and then where they are staying, these agents
in the hotels.
So, they are specifically targeting those. And to be honest, I think the casualty numbers is way higher. It's in hundreds, if not thousands. But they are not saying it right now.
Did you see that footage of like the sheikhs leaving on the helicopter? Is that true? Like I saw a quick video this morning. It showed all these UAE sheikhs getting onto a helicopter, leaving.
I think they are in bunkers, because I know that they did a meeting today on webcam. All GCC countries from their bunkers are doing that meeting. But I don't think sheikhs are in danger, because Iran is not targeting Dubai. They are just targeting Israeli and American assets.
Yeah.
However, with UAE, I think Saudi wants that, and Iran and Saudi had some kind of a secret pact that bound them, because otherwise they won't do that. Because even in Bahrain, they didn't target like hotels or anything. They just specifically targeted the bases.
There was one apartment. Yeah, there was one apartment that they hit. Right, there was, and they said that U.S. Marines were there.
Yeah. But in Dubai, it's like everywhere. Even Sharjah Mall got attacked.
I saw Sharjah Mall got hit. That's like so apparently that is a downed drone. So it wasn't targeting the mall. I think they tried to down it or intercept it.
But it got hurt.
Yeah, exactly. Because Sharjah is so close to Dubai, right? What is it? I mean, without traffic, is like half an hour.
Half an hour, something like that. But this is just the beginning.
I mean, I gotta say though, I love what's happening to Tel Aviv. I'm saying it straight out. They deserve it after what they've done to Gaza, and I just love seeing it. There's that even a residence. It wasn't even a residence. It was an opening to a bunker. I forget what where it was in Israel, but it was an occupied territory, Beit something, and just took it out completely because they have.
And to be honest, one thing, you are not seeing anything, because there is a new law in Israel that if you record and publish a video of getting attacked, you will get 10 years in prison.
So in true Israeli fashion.
Yeah, so majority of the videos are not coming. I think the destruction is way higher. Just before I was joining, I was reading that now Trump is saying, let's start talking again. But Iran is not gonna talk.
No, they're not.
Because
they said no.
This is a miscalculation, because they thought Khamenei was the hardliner. No, he was the soft guy.
Exactly.
He was stopping all this destruction. Now, like, you open the can of worms. They are not gonna stop for a very long time until I think they won't stop until at least Netanyahu is gone.
I think so too, and I think they're not going to stop until because they did mention this. They said that fatwa was from Khomeini. They said Khomeini's gone.
Yeah,
that fatwa is not.
Fatwa is null.
Yeah, the nuclear fatwa is gone, which means I think they're going to try to take out as much infrastructure as possible. Give themselves, who knows, 8 months, 10 months to. I think they're going to build a nuke. That's the only way they'll survive. That is the only way they'll survive.
By the way, that fatwa was stupid. There is no Islamic law which prevents you from building a weapon.
It's for defense. If it's for defense reason,
to be honest, that's just deterrence. You don't have to use it. No country use it. So that's like, for example, in North Korea, they have it, but they don't use it, but they are safe. So I think this in near future, I think we'll see atomic Iran.
I hope so. Just for them, I hope so, and for the Middle East, because Israel should not get that region. They don't have right to just completely take over those countries, all their resources, all their assets, all that oil, all that land, just because they say and claim the Bible says it's theirs.
Yeah. Also, the president of Israel said after Iran, Turkey is next.
Yeah, I saw that.
I'm like, are you insane? Like, first of all, you didn't even win in Iran. You just take out the soft guy. So
yeah, they're addicted. And Pakistan, they still have to take care of Pakistan, and Pakistan is not a joke.
Pakistan, they will save it for the last. First of all, it's so far away. Second, they are nuclear power, so I don't think they will touch them directly. I think they will use India for that. But
and that's why he brought Modi in for that whole stupid weekend.
Yeah, but even Modi is not that stupid, because the last war that had Pakistan, like it was last year, Pakistan destroyed it. Not destroyed, but like they defeated completely. It
was quick too.
It was like one day actually, less than a day. But they took down their 7 jets. That was
it was pretty embarrassing.
Yeah. So I think one more thing. In Pakistan, the American consulate was attacked by angry Pakistanis.
Oh, I saw that, and then they got shot though.
9 people are dead already, and like dozens are injured.
What a mess! It's just all a mess, and Trump
also
is
in
such an idiot.
in Baghdad, U.S. embassy is attacked.
Oh yes, I saw that as well. Did they get through?
Well, they are. If not, then they will. But I think they're burning something outside.
The Iraqi Shias are not a joke, and they're united now after what happened to Khomeini.
Yeah. In Iraq, even the Sunnis are like the regular Sunnis, not the Kurds, but the regular Sunnis are not like fighting Shias.
Mm-hmm.
They are like kind of in unison. They work like together, because Iraqi Sunnis are Sufi Sunnis, and Shias and Sufis are very close to each other.
Of course, yeah. I did not know there were Sufis. I remember when I worked there in 2003, they told me that they didn't know who was Shia, who was Sunni. They said we had no idea about these things until the Americans came in and started labeling them. They said we intermarried. It didn't matter.
Yeah,
Shia,
like
Sunni,
Shias and Sufis are so
Kurdi.
common, like you can't even point out the difference. So they are very nice to each other. Yeah, but there is like an extremist group, right? Which is Salafi group.
Of course.
That is also in Iraq, which is ISIS. But other than that, the majority of Sunnis are very friendly with Shias.
Of course, yeah. I mean, yeah. And
by the way,
Salafi-
even Kurds are not sectarian, because in Kurd you have everyone: Christian, Muslim, Shia, Sunni, all of them.
The guy who told me that, by the way, was a Kurd, and his nickname was Abu Ari, which means because the Kurds think they're Aryans or something, so that's what Abu Ari, right? Yeah, is an Aryan, and I'm like, wow, like I was so fascinated by that, like,
yeah.
Because
also, Nick told me about the blood moon, and he asked me for any prophecy, and turned out there is a prophecy for 13th of Ramadan. If there's a blood moon, that's a sign of end of time. Nick, do you want to elaborate on that?
I sent it to you in the group chat. Oh no, not in the group chat. I think on the private chat. But on this Tuesday, there's a blood moon. So and we had Guy Malone yesterday on the show, and he's very much in astronomy, and because he also had the planetary. It was not really an alignment.
Yeah.
But it was not really an alignment. It turned out, but the procession, I think it's called, which is a more natural and frequent occurrence than I thought. But the blood moon is actually apparently special.
And it's happening. It's happening in Purim too, right? Which is the Jewish holiday.
Could be.
Which is linked to Persia as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Purim.
True.
No, this is when Persia came and protected Jews from Nebuchadnezzar.
From genocide. Yeah. Esther, right?
Yeah, and that's how they responded, right?
Now look what's happening to them. Oh man, I hope Netanyahu is just gone. You know that will be just a glorious day if that guy's gone.
Pipe dream.
But But, yeah, I don't think it'll happen. People like him never die, right? Look at Cheney; he's still around.
Right.
I mean, no way, he's not around anymore. Wait, is he? I forget now.
No, Cheney's dead.
Okay, yeah, Cheney's dead. That's right. But he lived through 4 or 5 hearts.
Well, he doesn't have a heart, so he probably doesn't need one.
Exactly.
Like I joked, I think 2 weeks ago, he did it for the love of the game.
Yes, he did.
What's up with this James Fox guy?
All right, so James, I know he's just sitting there staring at us while we talk.
Hey, Adam, you've had this clip queued up for about 10 minutes now.
Okay, let's go.
All right, so this follows up after what Hexeth said, right, with disclosure. So James Fox says that they're working on basically let's hear it from him.
There's going to be a press conference coming up soon with sitting members of Congress, part of the task force from both parties, Democrats and Republicans, and they are in the process right now of crafting the language that needs to come out of the office of the President of the United States. And that language will provided President Trump is willing to use that language, that will provide additional security, protection, immunity for the following whistleblowers. There's going to be a press.
So they're giving immunity for the whistleblowers. Now, people have brought up that they should give immunity to the people who covered this up. And I want to see your opinions on that. And do you think these people who are responsible for the cover-up, the 80-year cover-up, deserve immunity?
Well, my opinion is that we're in a very, 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 very dangerous situation.
Yeah.
And that these people, I mean, if you back a wild animal into a corner, like a lion or a tiger, you have to provide a sort of an exit for that animal, right? If you, if these people actually have access to these kind of capabilities and technologies, and you push them into a corner, who knows what they could do, right? I'm not a pro, giving them immunity, but it's sort of like a boil that you need to you have to
there needs to
find
be a
out.
deal, basically.
Yeah, I think there's no other way, right? Because who knows? They blow up the planet.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So,
what do you think?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, don't go to me.
Do you think these people need immunity?
No, of course not. No, anyone who's involved in a cover up like this, and this extends to even the Epstein files, they need to be outed and ousted from their positions of power. I mean, I think about who is the guy that told us the government is spying on everyone? He lives in Russia now. Why am I blanking?
Oh, it's Snowden.
Snowden.
Yeah.
I mean, I look, that guy did nothing but the best he could, right? Showing Americans what was going on and ousting all of this information. And he's essentially on the run. He has been for however long it's been now.
And look at Assange, Julian Assange. His life was ruined.
Yeah. Assange as well. Anyone who tells the truth, like John Kiriakou, they threw him in jail, right?
Yeah.
When he was,
I mean,
Manning.
Fuck these people. Everyone who's involved in the cover up, UAPs, government spying, all this stuff. I hate these people. I truly do. I don't think they deserve any kind of protection or anything other than justice.
Yeah, I think from what Nick's saying, he provides a good point there. Is that if they have these technologies, and where you had the deputy under Secretary of Defense, he even said they can do laps around the B2. That's the most advanced thing I have, right? So that's who you're up against, and maybe they don't even need immunity. They're like, oh, I'm above the law. Right. Yeah.
So I my argument, because I agree with Topher, right? These people are horrible, and they deserve what's coming to them. But in order to get this secret out into the open, right, you have to sort of create an opening for them to step out, and then
What if you give immunity for the secrecy? But not for murders. I mean, because they have murdered.
Yeah. So I think there will be something along those lines, right? For people who actually crossed a line like that, there will probably be punishment. But for the people who sort of held it secret, which is just as bad, as you see what has happened around the world because of it, they might have to get immunity in order to get this ball rolling, and also the eminent domain has to go probably. So.
I mean, yeah, and I see it as a crime against humanity too. I mean, Sid, do you want to weigh in on this? Do you have?
No. So one thing I'll say, even if you give them immunity, they are not going to come out and say we did that. And
very true.
They don't have any records. I think they are not keeping records of their evil doing. So it doesn't matter if you give them immunity or not. But yeah,
they're like,
I will say give them immunity, and then the moment they confess, just take that back and hang them.
Hell yeah, Sid. Hell yeah.
That's the way to do it. Sid, you sound like a military strategist.
The art of war.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's great. I love that. All right, Ross Coulthard, of course, he's got to weigh in on what's going on with Trump's order. He actually has a cooler clip. I'll play that in a bit. Let's see what he got to say here.
We should have to wait for 30 plus years to get access to the files that we know exist. The really interesting admission in that section that you played from the president to the reporter was that he admitted there must be classified files relating to aliens. Otherwise, why would President Obama be in trouble for talking about something that was classified? And that's the intriguing conundrum behind the president's admission. He's effectively admitted that, yes, there are classified files pertaining to a non-human intelligence, aliens as they're called, and it's time for those files to be declassified.
Declassified. That is the key word. I hear it, and I appreciate you reading in between the lines for us there. Let's talk about timing, because President Trump's saying he's moving forward with releasing these so-called alien files due to the tremendous interest shown. Some are saying there may be other motives here. Do you have any thoughts on the timing of this? Is there something that may soon be uncovered here?
A lot of people are speculating that there might be something in the still redacted portions of the Epstein files pertaining to UFOs, because intriguingly, Jeffrey Epstein was very interested in consciousness and advanced propulsion, which are the buzzwords for people talking about UAPs. And it's very interesting. I just wonder whether the president, perhaps in the back of his mind, saw this as an opportunity to distract the public. So I think it's not going to work, because I think a lot of people are intrigued by what might be in the Epstein files. And interestingly, there's quite a lot of speculation that they do contain things on UFOs. But either way, I think the key issue that we have to keep on reminding people about, Natasha, is what the president said really isn't any different from what he pledged to Joe Rogan in the months prior to the last election. He told Joe he was going to declassify, he was going to make files more available relating to UAPs, and that hasn't happened. So he can make promises like this. Is he going to follow it up with an executive order? And the other question that I think a lot of people are asking is this part of some kind of pre-planned slow rollout? As you might recall, there's a British filmmaker called Mark Christopher Lee who claims to have a contact in the White House who's telling him that the president is going to make an announcement on the anniversary of the Roswell crash from 1947.
Oh my God. He just said it, Nick. He just said it. That's what they're going to do.
Yeah, I think, my take on it, I think when you look at the world, everything is speeding up. And I think we just hit a curve with AI. And I think this year will be even more crazy than I thought at the start of the year. I think things will speed up tremendously. And I think the new world is just around the corner. So I wouldn't be surprised if things get really, really crazy. And they just, I think they, so my take is they weaponize all these files, right? The JFK, I think they are weaponizing the JFK files, the MLK files, the UFO files, the Epstein files, and they're setting the stage. And it's all about timing, because people have very low retention spans. So it has to occur at the right moment in the right way, and they'll spin it any way they like it and they need it. And then for full impact, to achieve full impact. And I think, so I think brace yourself. I think it will, this year will get really, really crazy.
Yeah, and regarding AI, I also have an update that they use Cloudflare AI to assassinate Khamenei. So
I'm sure.
It wouldn't surprise me.
They already told us, like it's a public knowledge now, that they use Cloudflare. So be careful while you using Cloudflare, because if they're spying on them, they could be spying on you too.
So yeah, and Cloudflare is an Israeli company. So I would stay away from any Israeli company, right?
100%.
Yeah, but to be honest, also from any American or Chinese or Russian or
I mean, yes,
European.
fine. Okay, fair enough. But they're not Israel, man. Israel, there's something wrong with those people. Like seriously, like they take pride in like just deceiving and killing, and I don't know.
Also, if you ask me if there's US, Israeli, and Chinese, and I have to pick one, I'll pick Chinese. I'll go with Chinese, because that's like the most safest option.
Isn't that
in
crazy?
This world right now?
I can't believe. I mean, I live in a world where I would rather take Chinese technology and trust it over United States. I mean, but
crazy.
It is great. It is crazy.
What a sad state of affairs,
It is. That's that a country like China, a communist country, which we were brought up and brainwashed to think has no morals at all, right? Actually has more empathy and morals toward humanity than the countries of the West who profess that they care about that. It's just it really is mind-boggling. It could be a psyop from the Chinese too. Who knows these days?
Yeah, seriously.
And they've convinced us of that. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll just stick to individuals.
Okay, yes, I like that. Right, exactly.
No, I will generalize, man.
It's I think it is very important to focus on individuals as individuals and to judge people as individuals, right? Because we are judged anyway.
And I mean, nation states are sick to the core, right? I think to become a nation state or to become a country is basically to sell your soul. So I don't, I wouldn't trust any government on the planet.
True. Yeah. I mean, as a government, you become psychopathic when you are a state. There's no empathy. Yeah. You want to survive, and you will do anything to survive.
Yeah.
All right. So, and this is Senator Mike Rounds. This is important because he said that only firsthand witnesses have come to him. You know how they always say, "Oh, no firsthand witnesses have shown up." It's just I heard from this guy and I heard from this guy and I read this and I read that. So that's why I thought this was important that we hear from him that people that have actually touched the craft and worked on the projects are the ones who have come to him.
Sit on the Senate Intel Committee. You're on Armed Services. That's just some of the testimony you've been given has been pretty mind-blowing.
I can share with you that the only folks that we actually sit down and talk with me personally are people that have firsthand knowledge of either a program or that have personal firsthand knowledge of actually seeing something or touching something that to them was not explainable. And there is something to this. I just simply don't know what it is. And to tell the American people that we do know what it is just simply wouldn't be truthful. There are certain phenomena that we simply can't explain. What we do know is that there are objects that are out there that have been caught on film by reputable, real members of the armed forces of the United States that we don't know the answer to what they are or where they come from.
So I thought that was interesting.
Isn't this the same information that we were quote unquote given in 2017? Like literally word for
Pretty
word.
much, yes. It has not evolved since then. I mean, you're right. It hasn't.
Well, I think I disagree a little bit because you see them moving towards first, like UFOs in the sky. The encounters like with David Fraser. Was it Fravor or Fraser? Anyway, Fravor, the pilot, and then and other pilots, confirming that these things in the sky are real and that you have a sky security problem. And now then we sort of move towards, people investigating the government, like David Grush. Basically, and something that I also want to highlight is, all of this started in 2017, like under Trump 1. right? Trump 1 was a gigantic accelerator of disclosure.
Yeah,
You know,
it was.
and David Grush is from the Space Force, right? He's connected to the Space Force, which was also started with Trump. So, but now, and then people say, okay, but what about first-hand witnesses, right? We're just talking to second-hand, people hearsay, right? So people who spoke to other people,
Right,
and now
we're
now moving towards people who are actually touching the craft, and so I think they are creating this sort of momentum towards actually releasing the real thing, but you want to get people on board before you release it, because if you just release it out in the public like a film or a video or a picture, people will say it's fake, right?
Yeah, no, I understand, and I guess there is something towards, you don't give people the whole cookie, you give them bites at a time, so they can understand it. If Trump went live on TV and said reality is fake, these interdimensional beings are actually gods, it'd be like, oh Jesus Christ, like that's insanity. So yeah, I get the whole thing of you take small steps towards the larger picture.
Yeah, and then just imagine like people, when a friend or a family member comes to you and he or she says like, I saw XYZ, that 9 out of 10 people will ignore that person and not take them seriously, even if they're their own flesh and blood. And but also, if they see it themselves, they won't trust their own eyes, and think that they that it was an illusion, that they made it up, that it was so you even have like cognitive dissonance within people themselves, because we have been so indoctrinated in the materials reductionist mindset that these things can't be real, so what I'm seeing is not real. So and like Tover said, imagine if all the governments or representatives of government go on television and say it's real. Now we know what's in the Epstein files. Would we trust what they say? We would say, oh no, it's Project Blue Book, right? Or fill in blank, right? So you actually have to accustom people to this reality, like this possibility, and I think the whole sort of YouTube influencer X movement of these sort of real and fake grassroots investigators that are genuine, but also paid by probably the Peter Thiel groups to bring out this as much information as possible, so that, because you want commitment and consistency, right? Like Robert Cialdini says, you want people to. You first want them to commit to something before you can reveal the whole thing. So you start with little things, and then you say, if you accept this little thing, then you also have to accept that little bigger thing over here, and then you have to accept this really bigger thing over there. But you have to build it up, right?
Yeah.
Otherwise, it doesn't work.
Yeah, and we'll show. I mean, Psychology Today came out with a great article. We can skim it as well, and they go through the psychology of this, and they're trying to prep people up. Psychology Today is a huge publication, so they are part of this, and they're trying to get people ready for disclosure, which I think is very important. That's very important work they're doing, and that's and like what you mentioned, you have to, if you're going to do this and you're serious about it, and you don't want chaos, and you don't want people going insane. You have to do it,
or to ignore it,
or exactly, or to ignore it. Now, of course, these guys come in, right, and they don't talk about the Collins elite in this article,
but we know. Yeah, I mean, I was going to say, I was trying to lead into this article, but the Collins elite, that's something that we probably should discuss at some point.
Yeah.
Trump faces Pentagon revolt as "quote unquote" demon fears stall UFO declassification bombshell. Insiders claim religious anxieties and interdimensional theories are slowing the release of the long-awaited UFO files.
I mean, enough of these religious fanatics, trying to control, our society, because they know better, right? I mean, look what's happening in the Middle East. It's these same mentalities, right? It's all biblical, and Israel deserves that land, so we have to go and destroy all these countries. It's the same mentality. Don't trust these people, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, Adam and I have talked about it on the show many times, where all these, in quotes, insiders, they say, oh yeah, I know the truth, but we can't say anything because it's too dangerous or whatever. It's just like, you don't get to decide that, man.
I mean, the Collins elite basically believe that if this is disclosed, that Armageddon will happen. And that's why they don't want, basically it raises the awareness of society to the reality of this. And once that happens, it becomes real. And then they're saying, and then they're demonic, so they are going to enter our world, and that's the apocalypse. Ridiculous.
Yeah, no, but I do think that the latter part of the sort of what you said at the end, I do think there is something to that part, right?
Of course, of belief, you mean? Yeah.
So people have to believe it in order to make it a reality, and I think that's also sort of echoing what David Icke is talking about, like the sort of this reductionist materialist mindset that we have is actually blinding us to like 99% of reality, and we need to break free from that. And when we break free, then maybe that reality can also more easily enter into ours, and there might be like a back and forth or a sort of reinforcing feedback loop.
I love David Icke, man. I just want to say I was going through a really hard time after 9/11 happened. I was still in college. I was in DC. I was going through a really bad time, and I picked up a book from him. I was reading Jim Marrs, and I forget what Jim Marrs book I was reading, but he was referencing David Icke so much in that book. I was like, who is this guy? And when I went to go to the library, yes, he was in the library, David Icke books. And it was a book called "And the Truth Shall Set You Free." And I read it, and dude, it changed me forever. And I owe him a lot. So he's a great dude. Yeah, he's a great guy. Yeah.
By the way, regarding demon and religious fanatic people stopping, I don't even think they're religiously fanatic people, because if you are religious, you already believe in demons, and everybody knows about demons. So just getting verified from US government won't change anything.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Exactly.
Interesting. Yeah.
So
exactly, right? So there is some other thing going on. I don't think it's a demon fear, because
they're lying.
People believe, all religious people, including me, believe in demons.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, and you can see there are people who are clearly demonically possessed.
Mitch McConnell. he's clearly possessed by some sort of turtle demon.
Dick Cheney.
Dick Cheney.
Oh, definitely Dick Cheney. Right. Remember, and who's that chick that was mouthing off? Yeah. In Congress.
We played those videos when Sid was on the show last time, where she's sitting behind someone who's giving testimony, and she's all coked up.
She's mouthing his speech.
Demonic.
Yeah.
But there's also studies, right? I mean, people who are very fearful, who are they actually see less of the world. They interact. They actually there's actually a reduction in sort of capacity and perception, and sort of strong individuals, people who are very self-confident or happy, and who are standing in the world as in full confidence. They actually see and interact with more of the world, right? So and I think that's one of the reasons, of course, also why they keep us fearful. Not only that we're easily manipulatable by playing into our emotions, and that that they can steer us, but I think we actually literally see less of the world, because when you look at the research from the case of ganglia from what's his name, the molecular biologist Nolan.
Oh yeah, Gary Nolan. Yeah.
Gary Nolan. Yeah. So basically, what he's finding is that people who are more open to the world, who are more curious, actually, literally see more than they are more likely to see UFOs, and UFOs who interact with those individuals.
I believe that. Yeah. Totally.
Yeah, me too.
You know what's a good example of that, Nick, is when the Europeans landed in South America, right? The Mayans did not see the ships, but
dude, I love this story. Love it.
Yeah, and the only ones who saw the ships were the shamans, because the shamans were open to the idea of other right, intelligent in this other realm, and they had to tell the people, those are boats that are coming.
Yeah, it's crazy because they're like, the water's moving weird. What is going on? And yeah, they had to go get a shaman.
Yeah.
Shaman's like, there's boats out there, people. There's boats. Like they could, yeah. I mean, man, I love that story, Adam. Thank you for bringing that up.
I mean, maybe UFOs would just show up if people just start believing in them. Maybe they will just all of a sudden appear because the belief is there. Wow.
Yeah, and I think that's also with the UFO cults. I think that's why they're monitoring and are infiltrating those cults, right? Because they are probably literally summoning UFOs. So they have to keep a close eye, and they have to control and contain those cults in order for it not to spread. Like it's like a virus, right? A religion or a cult are like viruses. So you have to contain those if you don't want it to spread. So
very interesting. All right, so they kind of have. The whole demonic thing doesn't make sense, but they kind of have a point, right? Where it can get out of control, basically.
Yeah. But also, like what they said in 2017, like the whole we don't control our airspace angle, and that's why it's a national security issue. Makes sense, right? Because they don't control their airspace, right?
They don't.
No, they don't.
Exactly.
So if people become fully aware of what that actually means, like we're not in control, right? And these are control freaks. We're ruled by control freaks, which are psychopaths. So if people become aware, our government is actually not controlling everything. Also, with your police officer around the corner, do we really believe that these people keep us safe, right? They always show up after it happens, and then 9 out of 10 times you are the criminal, right? So in what way it's more the belief that they are there that gives us a good feeling that we're safe. But are they actually helping with safety? But if you live in a small community, you would probably be much safer than having a police headquarters around the corner, which doesn't show up when something happens.
Right, exactly. Yeah. I totally agree with that. So belief plays a huge role in this, and
honestly, I think it ties into. Can you go back to that? I'm going to link it here. Go back to that last article. Yeah, some Pentagon figures believe the UFO phenomenon may be linked not to extraterrestrials, but to interdimensional entities. So all of this stuff coming out about Epstein recently, they're essentially all ball worshippers, right?
Yeah.
It's crazy that all of this is connected. I think Adam and Nick, both of you have said, all of this is connected, over and over again throughout the show.
Definitely. 100%.
Yeah.
100%. And that's why they don't want you to pull those threads, right? Because it's all connected. So if you start pulling Epstein, or you start pulling JFK, or you start pulling UAPs, you start pulling all of those things, and it quickly unravels, right? And then you have to start assassinating people again, right?
And it's not exclusive, to them. And that's what they want to keep. They want to keep this exclusive to them. They want to keep this relationship with whatever these entities are to them. And not because once individuals start believing in this and really believing in this and start communicating themselves, nothing's going to stop you, and nothing's going to stop a communication channel happening.
And it's also very interesting when you sort of take a philosophical perspective, because you got the Enlightenment, which started like in the 17th century, in France, and that spread all over Europe, and then eventually all over the world. But so that's where we get via Descartes this sort of materialist, reductionist, measurable positivism that is ruling, the world that we know today. But it's very intriguing that at the top, the echelons, like the elite, they kept this irrational Baal worship. What the hell are they doing at the top, right? The occult survived, and it went two ways, right? It went to the bottom, where you got small groups of people who still believe in this stuff, like witches and these small enclaves of people who still believe in the occult, and at the very top in Hollywood and in with our rulers. So So it's almost as if our school system and our entire society is sort of created in order for normal people not to believe in this.
Exactly.
But the people at the top and those at the bottom, or the people who are the schizos, so to speak, in society,
yep,
they know it's probably real, and they already connected all the dots. And
right. And if you do want to be part of that, you have to join the occult. You have to become a Freemason, a Rosicrucian, whatever it is, right? And get initiated, right, and approved, and then you get the knowledge.
Yeah, it reminds me of that. I honestly don't know who said it, but that quote where you may not believe in demons and angels and all that stuff, but the elite do. And
right, yeah, it's a great one. Yeah.
So what do they know that we don't know? Right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So here's that Psychology Today thing I was telling you guys about. I think it's cool that they're doing this. It's a service for the people.
Sure. Trump orders UFO disclosure. What does it mean for us?
Distraction.
But I like that they're laying at least a foundation, because Sid, that a lot of people are going to go crazy with this, right? There's just so many, there's a lot of normies out there, and this is going to be a shock. So yes, distraction or not, I think this is doing a service to those people.
Yeah. No, but you know what I'm thinking right now? When they're gonna get pounded by Iran in Middle East, they will use UFO files to distract people from all the US soldiers' death. I think this is their plan.
They have to, or
yeah,
they're
and
being
in that,
humiliated.
but because of that, I think we get the real UFO files. So they want like a big revelation that there are aliens and they are in communication with us.
I don't know. Were you in the show when me and Nick were discussing this? We were saying that basically Trump has destroyed his legacy, right? He's not going to. There's no way they're going to win the midterms or even the presidency after what they've done in Iran, right? No one wants Vance, no one wants Rubio, and I said only if they bring the actual Roswell craft plus the aliens that might work. And Nick's like, yes, that's
not even that gonna work, to be honest, because at this point people will take those files, but they are not voting for them again.
Who can? If you're just seeing how people are reacting, there's so much anger out there of what they did.
And I will recommend Thomas Massey to not run for 2028, because no matter who run from Republican platform, gonna lose. This is like 100% defeat for Republicans.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, the GOP's dead.
Well, I think what might happen, and I don't have a crystal ball, and I might be totally wrong. I'm just a dude with a YouTube channel. But so I think what could now, first of all, I think it will be a crazy year because I think AI is now totally out of control.
Mm-hmm.
So that will be a thing moving forward into the year. I think the Iran thing can't last for very long, at least not for America and China. So, but Iran is a different story, right? They're fighting for survival, so they might continue this much longer than we realize, and it might spread right to Europe and to other places, Taiwan. So I don't know, but with the midterms, I think Trump will do whatever it takes for him to stay in power, because otherwise he's gone.
He might not allow voting anymore, right?
So I think plus what I said, like this is actually this is an AI space war that we're in, and everything is at stake. That's how I see it. I think Trump has aligned itself with the U.S. military, and they want to retain American sovereignty in the world. That for them that means a kind of like isolationism. I think they're retreating, right? I think you see a clear retreat, but the retreat also means an expansion. I think that what they want is Latin America, the whole of America, including Canada, Greenland, and an alliance with Russia. And then you got a connection from North Pole to South Pole, and the rest of the world. I think they don't really care about that anymore. And then start a space-based economy. And I think that's sort of the aim here from Team Trump. And I think they will do whatever it takes to get there. And that also needs to that means if I'm right, it also means that you have to sacrifice or get rid of all your opponents. So that would be the Democratic Party, and that would probably also mean that you release the Epstein files in a particular way. You will spin it in a particular way that it's devastating for the Clintons and the Obamas and all of them. And then you will also release the UFO files via the Epstein files, because the Democrats have been they accepted. They are demanding for the release of the Epstein files. So if you release them, they can't say, "Oh shit, that's not what I meant." So then they have to accept whatever truth comes out of the Epstein files, even if it's incriminating to them. I think they're betting that they won't be released because it would be incriminating for everybody. But I think they will weaponize it and spin it so that the opposition party will lose, and then it will lead up to the UFO file, and then they will release from the UFO file whatever they need, which is mostly tech, but I think they will also release alien stuff, because you're going into space. So if there are aliens, like with spaceships and stuff, then they'll that might also explain why we haven't been back to the moon, right? Why haven't we been back to the moon? So there is also something over there.
Supposedly, we haven't been back to the moon.
Yeah. But
Nick, I want to say this: you live in Republican Candyland. This is not happening. The scenarios you're building will never happen, no matter whatever they do. Even if they release every Epstein file and arrest every culprit, they are not winning. The people's mind have been made. The only way they can win this election is by not doing an election or rigging it massively.
Yeah, like martial law. There might be something happening, and this is scary, by the way. In Texas, I don't know if you guys saw, there was a huge shooting. Huge, I think, in a bar, like 19 people, right, were killed, and then they're blaming it on terrorism and Iran. So we could see, we could see a lot of this happening, and they could do martial law and then just shut it down, right?
But I think you can do all of the above, right? It doesn't have to be either or. You can do all of it.
I mean, if they don't, Trump is they're going to lose the midterms. Trump is going to be impeached. 100%. He's going to be impeached, right?
No, that's not going to happen.
And possibly jailed. So now you have to put yourself in his shoes. He is in power, right? He's one of the most powerful men in the world. He's a psychopath. He's a narcissist. So, and look what he just did in the Middle East. He's destroyed it with his decision to go and do that. So I wouldn't put it past him to do.
And it's illegal because you need to get approval from Congress. He didn't even consult with them. So.
No, he doesn't care.
He's in a big mess. There is an absolute reason to impeach him.
What do they have on him, man? I know he loves Israel, and he really does. He really, truly does. Okay, but to do something like this, they must have something on the guy, which is beyond what we can even imagine.
Files,
right?
I think they have the videos.
He's such a blowhard. I'm honestly of the opinion that they don't have anything on him. He's just an insane person. You know what I mean? They don't need to blackmail him, because they'll just say, hey, go bomb Iran because it'll make you famous or more famous or get you money or whatever, and he'll just do it.
Or maybe they have it and Trump want to get out of this mess, so he attacked Iran, so Iran will destroy Israel alongside with their tapes. This is
I like that one.
That was also my take. I think Trump is using Israel in order and giving it the rope to hang itself. That's also my take.
Get off my back.
Yeah, because what happened today? They backed off all the U.S. Abraham Lincoln fleet. It is going back now. So I think they just did what they did. Now Iran is out of control. There is no serious mind over there. Everybody is angry. They are bombarding Israel a lot.
Dude, it's crazy.
While we are talking, I'm actually looking at the video non-stop. At this time, the weapons are the THAAD and those missile systems. They are not working at all. It's just bombardment.
Oh my God, you're right. Iran is violating the Geneva Convention. They're crying. What is it? That they strike you as they cry? No, they cry as they strike you. Something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think, you know, one of the other things that's also very important that then that has to do with the economy is you got this big fight between the legacy banking system and the new cryptocurrency groups. And I think that's super important what's happening there, right? Because Trump, and you got the whole Jane Street thing that just happened, which is also super important. But the banking, you know, the banking system, which is being led by JP Morgan, who's never on the table when Trump does a discussion, a roundtable discussions, only crypto firms. You know, the banking system is not at the table, right? They're not even in the discussion.
Huh.
So they feel left out, and they're trying to launch their own pathetic little coins in order to stay relevant. But but they're pushing really hard on stablecoin yield, right? So because if stablecoins get the yield that, you know, the stablecoin issuers want, then the banking system is obsolete, right? You know, by default, right? So they become, and JP Morgan is of course named in the Epstein files.
Is this what you talk about here? This video you sent me?
That's Jane Street. So that's for the people who don't know how the economy works or the financial markets work. You know, watch this video. It's not only about Bitcoin. This is about how any, you know, the Jane Street is actually banned in India because they were caught, you know, destroying the Indian financial economy, so to speak.
The currency.
No, not the currency, but the stock market. The Indian stock market regulator, I forgot the name of they have a term for it, but Jane has been caught and they are banned there because they were sort of manipulating the entire Indian stock market. And apparently they're also doing it with Bitcoin, you know, selling at 10 a.m. when, you know, you have low liquidity. And basically what they can do, they can sell Bitcoin that they don't have. So they can they can buy it they can buy it on spot, and then they can take shorts, and then they can, you know, sort of sell Bitcoin that they don't have, and then the price dumps. Yeah. And then they buy, of course, you know, Bitcoin, for example, at lower prices, and then they get the spread on the shorts, and then, you know, a short, of course, a little bit of damage on the spot, but, you know, the shorts make up for that, and then, you know, rinse and repeat. And then they got filed because apparently they did the same thing against Terra Luna. So Jane Street was the one that killed Terra Luna. And Terra Luna is, of course, very interesting with Do Kwon, because Do Kwon was basically Michael Saylor before Michael Saylor was Michael Saylor. Mm-hmm. And he was creating this Bitcoin reserve. And they were, at some point, they were starting to buy Bitcoin on a weekly basis. So if they continued, they actually could have started a super cycle by themselves in crypto and Bitcoin. So back then I actually said, like, this is a financial hit job, only I thought it was BlackRock, but apparently it was Jane Street. And one of the developers from Terra Luna who quit Terra Luna was adopted by Jane Street, and they told how Terra Luna works. And Jane Street took advantage of that. And then they destroyed Terra Luna. And Terra Luna is also interesting because it's a synthetic stablecoin. And a synthetic stablecoin, which I think could perfectly work. But with the synthetic stablecoins, you don't need fiat currencies or US debt instruments to back it up, right? So if you have a synthetic stablecoin, then you don't need fiat currencies anymore. It would be like a crypto native solution to the world that we live in. So with destroying Terra Luna and Do Kwon, all ideas of crypto native solutions were sort of gone for a long while, and then and that left room for Tether to take over. And we know that Brock Pierce is connected to Epstein. And we also know that, you know, the price of Bitcoin doesn't really matter because fiat money is going down the toilet anyway, right? So who cares about the value of fiat currency, because it's just a control system and it's being replaced by a new control system.
And that's why they're just printing it like it doesn't even matter.
Yeah,
right?
It doesn't matter, right? So who cares about the money, right? Because they're going to replace it anyway. So you can do whatever you want. So people who are saving in money, I truly don't understand. Okay, you have to pay taxes and stuff, but if you're selling your crypto for fiat money, That's sort of like, I don't know, throwing your gold out of the window in order to test gravity or something.
Yeah. But still, like hard assets like real estate, gold, silver, those are still like important things to save. But yeah, if you're saving in an account, inflation is just killing you.
Yeah, and then trust me, like because with each war, I think we're just hit or we're about to hit the bottom, right? This might be more prolonged than most people think, right? It might escalate, so we might not have hit the bottom yet.
No, they already said it's gonna go for at least 4 months. Recent U.S. statement is it's gonna go for at least 4 months.
The U.S. is going to do. There won't be Israel. There won't be in Israel or Gulf left anymore. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So this is true. Then this is what I'm thinking is going on. Then that means Trump is giving, because it doesn't matter if Israel is gone, right? The billionaire class that owns and created Israel are outside of Israel.
Yep.
So which means he's destroying the region, and he's going to give it to them after he leaves. He's going to say, "All right, I'm finished. Here you go. Here's Greater Israel. Right? No governments, no infrastructure. There you go. Here's your new empire. Go build it. I did what I did."
And I think they don't mind their bases get hit because they're planning to get out of Middle East anyway. So they have a good reason. Yeah, all the bases are destroyed. Where are we gonna stay? So they're gonna back off.
Yeah, and that's where I agree with Sid. I think they're not that interested in the Middle East anymore, right? So.
Well, they just want to give it to the Rothschilds, right? They say, "Here you
go."
go.
Yeah, I think what they're interested is that Iran is a close ally to China, and they're if they can take out or seriously handicap Iran, then that has huge repercussions for China, because there's a reason that China imported like gigantic amounts of oil in advance of this conflict, right? Because oil is a real Achilles heel of China, like rare earth minerals are Achilles heel of the US, right? So that you really have to zoom out with Iran and look at the bigger picture, because it's Iran is just a proxy of the BRICS, right? It's about the BRICS versus.
It's more than a proxy. It's literally one of the main player now. But what is also happening in Iran is a lot of the bombardment happening in Tehran, which is the most reformist city. So you are not only making them stronger, but also removing all the opposition. So this is not the way they should be doing. Like if I was a US strategist, I won't be playing this game. I would be doing the whole different strategy. This is where you are making them stronger, and this is a very bad day for Israel. And I think at this point they are doing it deliberately.
I think they're sacrificing their people again. They don't care, and because there are Jews all over the world, right? And the ones in Israel looks like they're going to be sacrificed as usual with these. Just history repeats itself.
But if they take out Iran's drone capabilities, which shouldn't be too hard, then that also has huge repercussions for Ukraine and Russia, right? Because Russia is getting its drone capability via Iran. So if that's taken out in this
how are you gonna take it out? It's not just one facility. They have like multiple underground facilities, and it's very hard to take out those facilities. And they already, I think, have produced around 50,000 drones, which are
50,000 drones, almost 100,000 missiles they have. Underground,
and they have facilities to build the new ones. So it's not like they're gonna run out after 100,000. They will have more. So it's not like you're not gonna cripple them, because they've been planning for this war for 40 years. They knew this is gonna happen, and it is also being prophesied. So they go, because they are religious people, and religious people always go for prophecies. They have been planning that. I've seen, like 20 years ago, I've seen this battle plan according to the hadith. Like they literally draw a drawing where they showed that there are aircraft carrier attacking Iran, and then another attack is coming from Israel, and UAE is getting bombarded.
Well,
this is 20 years ago I saw this painting.
Speaking about that, I mean, Stratfor, you know Stratfor, right? It's like with Friedman, you got this whole club of basically neocons. And they predicted the war. They actually did war scenarios of Ukraine before Ukraine happens, right? So it's all So I totally believe Sid. I think you're right, and time will tell. I don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
And and let's not forget though, Israel's got nukes. They could be crazy enough unless Iran could do something with Dimona, do something, I don't know, which will just decapitate them. But they have submarines as well. Like, let's not forget, this is Israel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, with their nukes, I don't think they are deployed, or if they are deployed, they are not on the submarines. They are under the facilities. So if they destroy the top of the facility, the nukes are useless. And I think yesterday Dimona got hit.
It did.
Yeah,
it did.
So maybe they have already taken out those facilities.
And don't forget, Israel, what's it called? The Samson option, right? I mean, if Israel goes down there, it's policy for them to take everyone else down with them.
Yeah.
It is.
This is the thing. They're gonna not only take out the enemies, they're gonna take out their friends. Because this is the threat. If you don't help us enough, we're gonna destroy you.
Exactly. You have to be all in.
Yeah.
And if we're going down, you're going down with us. Is what they're trying to do.
I think it will be a very interesting year, and stock markets will be very volatile. The coming weeks. I'm glad I just got my energy contract fixed 2 weeks ago for the next 3 years, so I should be fine. So but for all the people who didn't do that, it will be very tough, right? Because it's already at $75 a barrel right now. And the premium is rising, so
I think within few days, I think the crude oil will touch 100.
Oh, easily.
Yeah,
easily.
I think so too. Yeah. So,
gold
but that means
will be up, silver will be up.
Yeah, that means that governments now have the excuse to start printing like never before, right? So
do you think QE will be back on the table?
I think everything will be on the table. I think we will go back to where we started in 2007, 8. Yeah.
Oh God.
I think it will be the final repeat of the cycle.
Oh boy.
So which means the stock market is going to go through the roof, artificially, of course, but
artificially, yeah.
The Dow.
Right. Yes. Yeah. That's all he thinks about. The Dow.
I mean, also, he was also announcing stimmy checks halfway this year, right? So I imagine huge stimmy checks coming to Americans soon.
Oh well.
I wonder if I can get in on that.
Because you're overseas. You should. Oh. Just wait. You know what? Just make your address like my mailing address. If I can, I'll FedEx it to you. After taking my cut, of course.
You joke, but my current mailing address is actually my parents' mailing address up in an undisclosed location.
So you'll probably get something. I mean, you still have to file taxes as an American, even if you're overseas.
No, I don't. I'm never filing taxes.
Oh God!
They can come get me for the $3 I owe.
No. Well, the good news is that you have a what is it called? They give you up to $100,000. You don't have to pay taxes on.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah. So all you have to say is like you're making $30,000 overseas.
I was joking about not paying taxes, but now I'm really not going to pay taxes.
I think it's an exemption or something like that. Yeah, but
Whatever.
You can totally lie. Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah.
now I think I have a problem with my browser. I'm not sure because I did get a warning that I have to reset. Let me know if you guys can hear the sound.
All right, let's hear it.
Yep.
No sound.
No sound.
No sound.
Damn it! All right, so I'm going to have to restart it. Anyway, we're almost at 2 hours anyway. So I mean, we can continue, and then I can restart my browser, see if that works. But
so how's UFOs going for everybody, huh?
Oh, you know what really pissed me off? Of course, Ryan Bledsoe, which I love. I love Ryan Bledsoe. Maybe not Chris, his father, not too much, but his son Ryan, he's a good dude. He's got a good heart.
Mm-hmm.
I like the stuff he says, but they're really pushing Chris Bledsoe's thing of orbs with the Iran thing and
I keep seeing posts about it online on Reddit, mostly about how his prophecies are coming true because we're now at war in the Middle East. And it seems like something is going to happen, maybe not around Easter, but again, it's easy predictions, right? War in the
Easy
Middle East.
predictions.
You know,
Yeah.
you could.
But he said orbs would show up, right? And they'll be like angels, and it'll be a new day. There's nothing happening. There was like one orb that showed up, or it was a light or something before the night of the bombings, right? That could have been one of our craft as to spy or something.
Oh, I just want to talk about this one thing because remember, basically, you were saying, not you guys, but like a lot of people were saying, US have alien weapons and they're gonna use it in the war. They have used this compulator, whatever that name is, in Maduro's kidnapping. I've been watching every video. I've been keeping an eye on this Iran attack. Not a
There's
single
nothing.
new weapon have been used. They're
Right,
using the same
exactly.
technology. This whole thing, as it was going on like back in the day, that I predicted that this is just a lie. It's a scare tactic. They don't have any
What
special
if-
weapon. Yeah.
What if that, because the Iranians are saying something similar where they said that they're using up their old munitions, they're 5 years old, and then they're going to use their new stuff. What if the US is doing something similar where it's just getting rid of old stuff?
No, there is a
first,
difference between US and Iran because Iran is there. US have to take everything with them. So they are not taking old stuff and then they're gonna bring. No, Iran have this flexibility because they have to get rid of old stuff. This is their land. Majority of US Armada is like on their ships.
Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah.
they don't have any luxury like that. So they didn't use it. Israel didn't use it, and that's the first day is the main day when you use those things.
But we know that they do have it because there was a 90-year cover-up that is.
No, I don't think they have like the US Army, which go and fight, have that technology. I think only the chosen people like Lockheed Martin and those guys have that technology, but that's not in the hands of army. So we won't see any technology like that.
There is the guy, the director of Age of Disclosure. He came out and he said he was told from people on the inside that these technologies wouldn't even be used in a World War III scenario. He said they'll only be used after the fact. After World War III scenario, they'll come out and then introduce these things. That's what he was told.
I can agree with that, but I will tell you now that they are not using any technology because they don't have any technology. When I say they, I mean the main army and navy. Yes, secret society probably have that, and they are saving it for some reason.
Well, here's the thing about Trump. Now, Trump is a bully. We know him, right? He loves getting on the phone. He loves getting in people's faces. What if, if he's backed into a corner because in this war with Iran, what if he calls them up and says, listen, we're going to use the technologies you have in there or this. I don't know. You know how he gets. For some reason, he can get what he wants from these people.
The art of the deal.
Right.
Yeah, but Trump doesn't even know who to deal with, right? Because they are such secret, bro. I don't think they care what Trump say.
Well, I
don't think they even like Trump. That's
There is an interesting story, right, from a dark journalist who has been pushing that for quite a while about the uncle of Trump being connected to Tesla, and
John
then
Trump.
and then the family Trump being very much connected to Nixon, and Nixon having had a time capsule somewhere in the White House.
Yeah.
I don't know if any of this is true.
Well, it is. I think dark journalists had the guy on, right, who knows this stuff. About that capsule, and it is known that Nixon did. They did write letters back and forth, right? Him and Nixon, and Nixon told him you're going to be president one day or something.
Nixon is of course a very interesting fellow because IQ wise he was the smartest president in the United States. He has a very interesting background, and he was extremely paranoid. I think he even didn't live in the White House. He was that paranoid. So, and I wouldn't be surprised if you're being surrounded by Henry Kissinger and
right, exactly.
So he was kind of like George W. Bush, only smart. And he was actually very popular among the people, right? Everybody loved him, but when they got him on TV and people finally saw him and they didn't only hear his voice, and they sort of cornered him, that he failed. Plus the leaker of the Watergate is also a very interesting story, right? Because the leaker of that story, or the journalist who supposedly broke it, was, I think, military.
He was he was a naval officer.
Yeah.
Naval intelligence.
Yeah, there's a very interesting backstory to that, to the fall of Nixon, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was almost that he had to go. So that if that's, and I do believe that story, then there's also, and if then the other story is true about the connection between Trump and Nixon, all these factions fighting each other, there's a clear fight between factions. Also, with the crypto community and the legacy banking system that's going on right now, with big tech and now with China and the US. I mean, I think that's not fake. I think that's a real conflict right there. So something is going on right in the background, and we'll find out. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
There's definitely strange connections with Trump, his uncle, with the Tesla files.
Yeah, the whole thing, right? It's just
It is very bizarre. And then with Nixon, I mean, the whole Nixon thing is weird too. But Nixon was the first one who got it out of the government. He's the one who got the secret, the UFO secret.
And he was close to Eisenhower, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Yeah. So he privatized it. He got it out of the government and privatized it and gave it to the contractors. That's the lore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I have 2 new updates. Cyprus is being attacked right now by Iran.
See, Cyprus, why did you let the Israelis in Cyprus? Why?
No, but they're attacking British base in Cyprus right now. And second is funny. There is a revolution started in Bahrain.
In Bahrain, yeah, because they're all Shia. They're all Shia, right?
Yeah, they're like 75% Shia over there, right? So they just started a revolution against their king.
Dude, what a mess. By
the way, it will be really big if the revolution is successful in Bahrain. That is like a big red alarm for Middle East.
I mean, yeah. Especially for Saudi. I mean, Saudi basically owns Bahrain.
Yeah.
Right? Or at least it owns the leadership. So
no, Saudi own every GCC country. They are the leader. But
Agreed.
The interesting fact is Bahrain used to be a part of Iran.
Bahrain used to be part of, oh, really?
Yeah, until that, the Shah who was kicked out by Iranian, he let that go as a separate country. But
I had
until
no idea.
Shah, Bahrain used to be a part of Iran. That's why they have 75% Shias over there.
Wow, dude. You learn something every day. That makes a lot of sense now. Makes a lot of sense. And then they put Sunnis on top of them, which Saudi controls.
Yeah.
Wow. Very interesting.
Interesting times, man.
Yeah, man. It really is. I mean, well, I guess we did a half UFO show, half. I mean, they're connected. They are connected, though.
They are absolutely. It's all connected.
And that's what we were so interested in.
To be honest, this war started because they burned the ball, and Ball took it personally.
Yeah.
Ball took it personally. And he told Netanyahu to tell Trump to go get them. Yeah.
Oh my God, what a sick world we live in.
By the way, I haven't had any time, but maybe you guys have had a little bit more time. But was there any other UFO news the past week? Because I did see a lot of interviews come by, but I just
wait. I think my browser worked here. 1 second. I just know that we do have a hard. Right. Oh, I have to present.
Yeah, no, you're right. Let's wrap it up.
Right. And 2 hours. Yeah. But we could do it next week. So
next week, until something happens next Friday or Saturday.
I know. Yeah. There'll be a nuke drop probably next Friday.
Yeah, Blood Moon is coming. Anything can happen, right? Blood Moon is here day after tomorrow.
Yep, Tuesday.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Well, we want to thank you all so much for listening to the Uncovering Anomalies podcast, episode 155. We're getting up there.
We are.
And we want to thank Nick and Sid for helping us out today. We always love having you guys come by.
Absolutely. And I always learn so much from both of you. I mean, Nick,
seriously, you guys,
knowledge. Yeah.
Even my mom, who's like listener, like fan number 1, is always like, "Oh, I always like it when Nick or Sid is on. They always know what they're talking about."
Oh, she's calling us idiots. Oh, thanks, Auntie. Thanks, Auntie.
We're just making it up.
In contrast to me and Adam bullshitting around, we actually have some smart guys on once in a while.
Yeah, actually, Sid, you got a good comment on Spotify in the last video. They said that they really like that you always bring up the spiritual element.
Hold on.
Thank you to the commenter.
They said that Indian guy.
I didn't want to say.
I'm not Indian, trust me. I hate Indians. I have no connection with them.
He did say that, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not making that up. That's what the comment said. But it is always good getting feedback from our listeners, and we do appreciate that.
A good comment, yeah.
It was still a good comment.
And that's not good anymore. If you call me Indian, I think that's the worst insult you can do to me.
Oh no.
Noted.
No, just kidding, man.
All right.
Well, thank you all so much for listening. That's I Have Needs to Know Adam. I am